Welcome back to Max Garden Style, and in this video we're going to explore the grounds here at the Chelsea Flower Show. I did the Grand Pavilion. Please go check out that video. But these are the grounds, all of the beautiful statues, everything that's going to go outside. Look at this behind me. So much more of that in this video, so stay tuned as we explore the grounds at the Chelsea Flower Show. Now, I've seen a lot of metal art for gardens before, but this one is new and I like it a lot. These cows are giving Highland cattle all over the place. I love the fact that the chains are just, I've never seen chains used in this way before. I even see a chain for a chainsaw in there and different types of chains tucked in. But I love the use of chains to create the cow. And wow, these are also very large displays. The thistle at the back stands at least 4 or 5 meters high. These sculptures by Brian Alabaster are really eye-catching. They invoke emotion. The fact that the characters are looking down or looking away as though they're pensively in thought. I love the thoughtful pensiveness of these sculptures. Now, this is a dry garden. It's mostly succulents. I think it's almost all succulents here. Maybe a couple of cactus have snuck in. But I love the fact that they've tucked the succulents into this space. It's Kangaroo Succulent Garden. Some of the largest succulents in here are really eye-catching. Now, there's a small cactus that snuck into the succulent garden. But what I really like are the eggs. Now, those could be ostrich eggs, emu eggs, or velociraptor eggs. I love the fact that it leaves it open to your interpretation. If you're going with the theme that this is a historical garden, those could be dinosaur eggs. This is more of the Kangaroo Succulent Garden, and on this end of the garden they have spitting creatures. So if you walk past this cobra or that lizard on the other side, they'll spit water on you. A nice addition to this garden. Your energy is saying you are the artist. Are you the artist?
I am, yeah.
This is a very different way to show the human farm. It's just kind of the thought behind how you come to these creations.
So this one here, it's called Beyond Limitations. Beyond Limitations is about how your conscious mind is not limited. It can just go as far, you can go to outer space, you can go wherever you want with it, can't you? In dreams we go all over, yeah?
Right.
So, but on this physical realm where we are now, obviously we're restricted. So the idea of the exaggeration is to take you beyond the physical form. So I exaggerate the sculpture itself so that it draws you into that. So when you're looking at it, you're looking up and the arms are extended longer and longer and it goes to gold, so that it's showing you that you know your conscious mind take you further than your physical
body can take you. Okay.
Yeah. And because it's obviously in a solid shape, obviously it can't do that, so I have to sculpt it into that to draw you in, to take you on that journey. What I like to think of is that the name of the piece is the name of a book, and the piece itself is a book cover, but the book itself is blank, because what your experience now looking at that piece is different to what I experience because of your past, and everything that happens is going to happen in your life.
Right.
So you then start to mirror with the piece. And so the red one is more about protecting yourself, being strong. You're holding off what you're being told that you don't believe is true. So it's a very strong stance.
A defensive stance.
Yeah, and the reason gone on a female figure for this one rather than male on that one. The female one for that one is the strength behind the female, that it has the kindness and it can be soft, but at the same time, like your mum, when your mum is the beautiful being, but at the same time she can be very powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's that kind of emotion behind it.
I really like these sculptures. They are artistic. They put me in the mind of Peter Rabbit. You have the little bunny rabbit there with the sports coat on. Now let's go to a section of the show called the Houseplant Studio. There's multiple different houseplant vendors here and studios set up, displaying houseplants, a lot of monstera, calla lily, indoor houseplants. Let's walk through some of these. Now this is a fern living room. I like it. I'm willing to admit I severely underestimated the size of the Chelsea Flower Show. It is massive. I'm only going to see a small portion of it today because I spent so much time inside of the Grand Pavilion. There's so much more. I'm trying to catch it, but I know I won't be able to see it all. This is the balcony and container garden section of the show. And this is really popular. There's a lot of people lined up to see these balcony gardens. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of space, and these gardens really demonstrate how to maximize. Now, this is another beautiful balcony garden design. I would be concerned about weight, though. You'd have to know the weight that your balcony can support, because these planters, large planters, filled with a lot of soil and compost, and then having water features. Water has a lot of weight to it, so weight would be a concern. But from an aesthetic perspective, this garden is really, really attractive. Now, this garden is very near and dear to my heart. It's titled Bees for Development, Making Life Better for Bees. I love the fact that they have the little bee hotels and bee houses there built into the walls for solitary bees and insects have a place to live and thrive, with also a lot of flowers that will attract a lot of pollinators. It's a beautiful garden. Pinstripes and peonies, the everyday Eden potting shed. I love this garden. I love the way it just looks. It looks used. It looks as though it's been here for ages, and to know that all this was recently put in. But I love the fact that there's mud and dirt across the wooden space, which really makes it look like it's an actively used garden shed. The gardener just left this shed just a few minutes ago is what appears to happen here. Although there's some mud splattered up high on the glass, I wonder how that got up there. Maybe the gardener had a bit of a party. Our call of nature. I love the reuse of the telephone box here. This is so impressive. A lot of hydrangea moved in, and then look what they've done with the actual phone. It's all covered in moss. Don't see a lot of dahlia at this show, but I see dahlia tucked in the corner. But the hydrangea, the stars of this design. So even when you think you're just looking under some trees, you realize, nope, that is a display highlighting orchids, wonderfully put together. Chelsea brings out the very best sculptors. I thought I've seen a lot of great sculptor work before, but these sculptures are magnificent. This is Chai Africa, recycled, reused, reclaimed. If there's one key point that I want to pass along from this show, it is that if you leave and go outside of the gates, you have to buy another ticket to get back in. I was going to go out to drop some of my camera equipment, and I asked the guys at the gate. They said, if you leave, you have to pay to come back in. Be aware of that once you're in, and when you're out, you're out. I love crochet flowers. Look at this, amaryllis, sunflower, dahlia. These are all impressively creative. I like the real ones, but I like the crocheted versions as well, because it takes so much effort to create something like this. Oh wow, look at this. Elephant ears. That is so nice. Actually, the pink would be more of a caladium, but either way, really impressive. Wow, these are elegantly created trees. This is Thomas Percival art. That is so impressive. And I'm not even sure if these are stills or these drawings, but totally magnificent. So these are wood burn.
Yes.
I was unsure if they were stills or how you did it. You actually wood burn this?
Laser.
Oh, laser done.
But
okay.
I used to do a bit of pyrography.
Okay.
I used to do pyrography with hot iron, hot needle.
Right.
But you get much sharper detail with the laser, see.
And it's on wood.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
My own innovation.
Yeah.
I've been doing them for 12 years.
12 years.
Full-time 12 years. I take orders. So these are my showpieces, then I make them to order.
Okay.
I only draw one a year, one or two.
One or two.
They're very time-consuming.
Right. Here's a really unique company. It's Potter, and it looks as though they've created pots. They look ceramic, but I think they're actually plastic, and they fold out. They start out flat, and then they fold out. It's really, really impressive.
Made up of commercial fishing nets that we've collected around the UK. We work with a social enterprise, you can see here. We work with a social enterprise who do all of the collection for us. They do lots of the sorting, so you imagine the nets are not in a very usable state. They then kind of sort them out, and they're taken to a factory where they're kind of shredded up into short pieces, and they're transformed into pellets. And then we take our pellets and we turn them into big sheets of the plastic, and then we die cut them. So we die cut them, if you imagine it almost being like a big cookie cutter. We die cut the net shape and part of the creases, and then we partly fold them, which allows us to ship them flat pack. And the flat pack nature of them is actually what reduces the carbon footprint up to 100 times.
As a garden enthusiast, the shops that are here are the companies that are presenting out here that set up stalls here at Chelsea, the artists that are here. It is all candy to me. This is all eye candy and just candy for someone who enjoys plants and gardening. This is pretty much everything that I enjoy. Smelling something really nice here. There's Freckle Face. Look like they do oils and essential oils and scents. I just don't have the space to carry a lot of things home with me today. And I'm glad I'm filming it, because as I go back and look at my own video, I'm going to remember a lot of these companies and their names, and I'll go back and look them up later and go online and purchase some of their wares. I just can't purchase it all today. I just won't be able to carry it all with me. Stevenson Brothers, rocking horses. These are classic. And you know, I have young children. They still would absolutely enjoy having something like this. This is unique. Bull and Stein. Wow, those cherries are really glossy. This would be something it'd take a particular type of gardener to want to add this to their garden. But if you are that gardener, then this is the garden artwork for you. Here's Sculptures by Michael Clancy. I love the lion. It's just a really heavy piece of iron. And I don't know if it is actually heavy, but if it's made of iron, it looks heavy. This swan is heavy. It's just the way that the artwork is designed. Sharp angles and lines gives it more of an imposing appearance. So it would have more of a feel of a heavy structure in the garden, like something that would appear to be light and airy. This appears more heavy and dense. But if that's what you need in your garden, then this is the artwork for you. From heavy to the whimsical, this is Tea Party, Bronze Urn by Robert James Workshop. This is much more whimsical piece. Alice in Wonderland is a whole. Next we have Sculptures by Jeremy Hastings, a little bit of Cornwall in your garden. I presume that's going to be Cornwall slate, which is used. But very impressive water feature.
Science and
Here's Garden Art Plus LTD. If you want that classical look in your garden, then this is a replication of classical garden art. Beautiful. From metal water features to glass water features, this is Carrie Ann Clarnell's glass art. Just as impressive as the metal works, although I would think it is quite a bit more fragile. Here I'm getting the fanboy along with everyone else because Monty Dunn, I've never seen Monty in person, but there's Monty Dunn. Has a camera film crew set up here. There's a massive crowd of everyone standing around trying to get a view of Monty Dunn as he opens up the garden show. Agra frames, classical garden structures. Now this will be some beautiful trellises to run your roses up. The designs are classic, ornamental, and some appear to be much heavier than others. Gabriel Ash, the only timbered garden greenhouses endorsed by the RHS. This is a very long greenhouse. If you have the space for this, this would be wonderful. It even has shade built into it at the top. It's a nice addition. Now, I've seen fireboxes like these before, and I love the designs. They cast off some really magnificent shadows in the late evening or at night. I've seen them lit up, and they're really beautiful. If you have a wall nearby for something to grab that reflection, that's when they are at their best. Now, here's some much larger, really look like carved out of granite or marble structures. These are some beautiful garden designs, very heavy and weighty pieces. would need a massive garden to scale properly. Pattern gray, stone balancing. Now this is impressive. It says stone balancing, but I think these pieces are going to be joined in a way that they won't fall over in your garden. I have children, and I'd have to have those pieces not balanced but secured. They could be initially balanced, but I'd have to have them secured. Some portrait work by Nick Robertson. When I say portrait work, I mean portrait sculptor. So if you want to see yourself in your garden, give Nick a call. You can make it happen, because these are some magnificent pieces. Add a bit of gravitas to your garden. So many magnificent sculptures here. This is Ian Gill's sculpture. Nice water features. These iron pieces are large and heavy. These are also water features. They're just dripping right now. They may run heavier. And those giant daffodils standing about 3 meters tall, those are impressive. A lot of this work is really, really impressive. There's some great sculptors here. And that looks like calla lilies with the water running from level to level. Just so many great water features to grab your eye and keep you in your garden. There's so much at this show. Even though I'm seeing it, I'm not able to take it all in. There's just more than I can absorb at one time. So I'm glad I'm filming this. I'll be able to go back and enjoy this myself, because there's so many things that I say, hey, I like it, or I don't even recognize that I like it in the moment, but I'll see it later on and I think I'll go back and I'll say, hey, I would like that, and hopefully I'll be able to find those companies to track it down. But there's just so much here, I can't take it all in. Now this is a glossy piece. Large and shiny. I like this. You'd have to be cautious of how the sun would shine, because it could kick some really heavy glares back off into your property or into your neighbor's property if they're too close. This is a very artistic design, different color stones, and then there are features carved out of it. Really just the shapes of people carved out of it. And this is Paul Vanstone is the name of this sculptor. And it's just alluding to heads, shoulders, and bodies. And whenever humans see the general shape of a human, we superimpose a human onto that structure. So that's exactly what's going on here.
This year we commissioned Darcy Fleming, where she recycles and upcycles baleen twine from local farmers in her area. So she's from Fleming, Yorkshire, and so she doesn't buy these apparently, so they come in these colours. And so I was just telling them that today, by having conversations with other people and farmers, some of them, they arrive and they're like, oh, I've never seen this colour before, but I've seen more of the blues and the yellows. So I guess it really depends on the area they're from.
This is finishing up a beautiful day here at Chelsea. This is the end of the outdoor section of my explorations here at Chelsea. This is my first time at Chelsea and I have enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm going home with a lot of plants and really wonderful things to take home with myself here, and that's been great. Hey, drop down in the comments, tell me which part of this you like the most. Also like and subscribe. There are a lot of wonderful interviews coming up, some great interviews that I've held with some of the growers here and different displays, some really great interviews. So make sure to like and subscribe so you can see those as they come out on the channel. Until next time, take care.